Welcome back. And first of all, let's take a look on the major headlines of our daily newspapers, and starting with the Al Ahram newspaper. But first, we have our guest, Ekram Ibrahim, journalist from Al Ahram Online. Good morning, Ekram.
Good morning.
And let's start with Al Ahram, and starting with the first page. The mafia of state land looters falls. Former Minister of Agriculture Amin Abaza agreed to give the businessman Amr Mansi 12 faddans in Sinai. Businessman Muhammad Abul Ainin took 500 faddans illegally. 11 leading companies bought lands in the desert road in a very low price. One of the major issues that really all people are concerned with.
Yeah, the lands of Egypt, which have been, I don't know, stolen or taken in very low prices. Yeah, it's one of the major issues. But let's say that I think that Al Ahram is overrating these issues. Every day he's just talking about people who have taken lands or have stolen. I think we want to wait finally till the court say its final word, and these people get prosecuted or something. We just don't have to talk all the time, this one has taken that and that. Well, on the other side, people believe that, okay, there was a lot of stealing and a lot of violation to the law, but still.
But maybe the idea here, there were two different opinions about this. Some people believe that these lands must be taken back, and some other people believe that these lands, they can keep it and they can pay the real amount of the land, and to continue the project, whatever projects they are doing.
Okay. No, well, I guess they have to pay the real amount, and they continue the project, so as to the investment continues. We don't want to stop
boost
the
growth.
Yeah.
We have here something else still with the first page of Al Ahram newspaper. 90% of the construction works in Seoul's church end. The armed forces are about to end the reconstruction of the church this morning. The final touches will begin soon.
Yeah, that's hilarious. For 1 week, and then it comes back. That's very good. I think they'll have like 2-3 days again, and all will be fine. So I think that's good. They're working to make the Copts more...
and they are working fast.
Yeah,
in the
that's
past
why
we used to complain about, sometimes things taking much more time, and now they are trying to move faster.
Yes.
Still with the first page of Al Ahram newspaper, and moving on to this article, a controversy in Washington over Mubarak and Gaddafi's assets. A report by Washington Post newspaper regarding Mubarak's wealth was removed after it was published by mistake. The step was taken after it was clear that the data included were about Gaddafi's assets. They mentioned the amount of money, I can't remember, 31 billions US dollars, and they believe that this amount of money belonged to Mubarak, and then later on they announced, all these assets belong to Gaddafi.
Yeah, I think what was here funny is that it was announced in a meeting. Okay, it was not announced in a newspaper or something.
It was not officially.
It was officially announced in a meeting, okay, or in a press conference, and then the secretary or the office of this official, he then came back and said, no, this was a mistake, and he meant Gaddafi. That's why I think there is something conspiracy here. It's not so much true. It's fishy.
So you mean over there in the States?
Yes. How can an American official come in a meeting and say blah blah blah, and then he comes back and say, sorry, the name is wrong? It's not a small issue to commit such a mistake, I guess.
But at least this was removed after publishing. It was published by mistake. So it proves, I believe, that it was a mistake.
No, so why not you take it that it was not a mistake, and then after they found it published, and then they just
like... They wanted to announce it, so they mentioned it like this. Who knows? Moving on to another article, the High Administrative Court supports conducting the referendum as scheduled. 14 members of the European Parliament take part in monitoring.
Yes. Tomorrow is the day when people will say yes or no. This split between people, when some want to say yes and they're most Islamist, and some want to say no and they're more intellectual.
But anyway, regardless of this, maybe the most important issue is that we have all measures taken to guarantee that you will be free to say whatever you want, and you have the local and foreign press will have the access to enter to the electoral committee, and all of this stuff. I mean, this is something very important to all
yes,
of us.
I think
for the first time.
Everyone knows that this is the first elections to be free, and people are not expecting it to be violated by any way. So I think this
first
is really
time that you can never guess what is the result.
Yes.
You have to wait after to know more about the vote.
And that's why I think many people are going down to the street to vote tomorrow. On the contrary, what happens before, some people are coming from abroad to vote tomorrow.
Yes, in the past they used to know, yes, we know what will happen, but now we are going to go to vote and wait until we find out the result. Still with the first page of Al-Ahram newspaper, Pope Shenouda III, the Pope of Alexandria and the Patriarch of the Holy See of St. Mark, returns to Cairo after a treatment trip to the United States. Shenouda returned on Cairo on Thursday, 18-day treatment trip to the States.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're glad he's coming back. His health is good. But I think, like, the Pope Shenouda has, the Coptic community, its relation with the Pope, has some changes in the past month or past few months after the Copts came to the street and starting protesting. And this was always against his, like, will or his advices to the people. He always wanted the Copts to be in the church and don't talk about it, don't protest, don't voice their opinions. And especially the last protest that the Copts went in, those were here in front of Maspero, the Pope did not want that to go. So I think this new relation between the Copts and their Pope is going to say something. They're not obeying blindly as before. So we'll see what this will get.
And finally, our last article from Al-Ahram newspaper, Councillor Hisham al-Bastawisi announces a nomination for presidency from Al-Amar village. Al-Bastawisi said he would announce on his nomination during a public conference he will hold in his birthplace in Touch, Al-Qalyubiyya Governorate.
Okay. Well, I think people will wait to know what is his election campaign and what is his program and what will he do. So maybe he's a judge. That maybe something.
Al-Ammar village. I'm sorry.
Okay. Maybe because he's a judge that gives him credibility or something, and people may trust him. But still, they will wait for his campaigning and what he's going to say and what is his program, and the debate that will take place between him and other candidates. Who will win? Who will have a better charisma? Who will be more convincing? So we'll see. Many people will come up now and say, "Okay, we want to be the president."
But regardless. We have many people, but I believe again that people now are aware of what they want and they're going to search for the best person and what he is going to offer during the upcoming period. Which I think, yes, you agree with me. So let's move on to Al Jumhuriyya newspaper and starting with the first page. Prime Minister Sam Sharaf agrees to put Misr al-Khair or Egypt charity initiative under the auspices of the cabinet. Sharaf agreed also to establish petrochemicals compound in Mustarad with a cost of $3.7 billion.
Yes. This is good that they're trying to put this charity thing in the cabinet. I think this is very, very, very important. And Misr al-Khair is doing hilarious work. They're working on underemployment, and they are working on many things for charity. I think this is hilarious. I don't think that the ministers before used to do this kind of work. They didn't care for charity, right?
Yeah. So now it's very important. And now at the time for the non-governmental organizations, of course, they have their own role that they can play now. I think we need them. The civil society and such organizations will be very important.
No, but I think the new thing is that the ministry and the government accept them and embrace them and work with them. And yes, and they are coordinating together. This is the new element. Yes, we need the civil society. Its role is very important now. But the new thing is Sharaf's initiative with them.
Moving on to another article. 4 ministries participate in putting an integrated vision for wages system. Minister of Finance Sami Radwan said on Thursday, wages and employment issues were topping the government's priorities. Radwan said time was needed to accurately study the 2 files. The minister noted that the government would hold consultations with the private sector, the industrial and trade chambers unions, civil organizations, and representatives from laborers' syndicates. He asserted that no decision on wages increase would be taken before holding those consultations.
Yes, I think the issue of wages is very important and critical in Egypt now. in spite of the fact that people need an increase in wages, I don't think that we have to do this now. I don't think it's right for the economy. We don't need this now. We need people to go with whatever they have and work. We just need like 1, 2, 3 years of hard work, and then we will get to have things better. I think prices have to go down better than making high wages. And working on it and doing it in a professional way, okay, that's great. But I don't agree with increasing wages now.
Well, at that time, we need to reduce expenses by any means.
Yes.
But we can make it overheads, not to play on with the wages side. So to continue about Gumhuriya newspaper, we have the second semester exams to be held next May the 14th. Pre-University Education Higher Council assured the amendments on the timetable of the second semester, which had started on February the 26th and is to end next May 26th also.
I think this is a tight schedule. 3 months for a semester. I think it's a tight schedule. But yeah, they have to do that because the second semester has to come. I don't know, I guess they will like minimize.
They want to postpone it, and still they want the students to continue this year.
Yeah, they had to continue this year. They couldn't like postpone a semester or cancel a semester or something.
2 weeks
they had
ago,
to.
people were against this, but I believe they have to continue. This is 1 year, and they have to end at the end.
But I guess they have to like minimize the syllabus or something. Get like if there are 3 chapters, make them 2, and get the exam within the 2 chapters. An overall
put the
idea.
Chapter next year.
Maybe.
So a lot of things, a lot of changes are taking place now. It's just like you're talking about the exams, about the prices, that they have to control the prices. Certain things, of course, that we all expect after the revolution, just for a certain period of time.
Yeah, I think the society is very active. On one side, people say we have problems. Yes, we have like problems, but the society is very active. This vibe of activism, and people are working to get things better. People now believe they are Egyptians. They are proud they are Egyptians. They feel like this is ours. They're working hard. I think this feeling is like outstands anything we have lost.
Yes. Moving on to another article. Still with the Gumhuriya newspaper, to secure transparency in selecting the Grand Imam, Al-Azhar law will be reviewed. Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Sheikh Ahmed Al-Tayyib, says that an administration for complaints to be established and that Al-Azhar University budget will be increased.
I think this is important. The Azhar has many controversial issues in the past years, and I think it has lost its credibility. Not its credibility, but its weight internationally. The Azhar before, what its weight was. So changing things inside the Azhar and making it more like applicable to what's happening around, I think this is very important right now, because the Azhar has to change their image now. They don't have to look like the old institution. They have to look like, no, they are modern, they can cope. So making these changes, I think it will be very important.
So how do you see the situation now?
You mean in general?
Yes, in general in Egypt.
I see, as I told you, that there is, people are, as usual, some people are divided. Some people are totally against the revolution and what has happened, and they think, oh, we want, where is our food, where is our daily